Well, good morning. It's Friday. It's Shoot the Shit with DSP time. We've got people logging in. Welcome to those of you who are early, on time, whatever you want to call that. I appreciate you. I'm somebody who's taught my kids that 15 minutes early is on time. On time is late. With that said, we've got a group of you here on Facebook, a group of you here on YouTube. I want to give you a little housekeeping, and that is if you're in my Facebook groups, my team is dropping in a link into the chat that says restream.io/FB for Facebook. You need to click on that link to give Facebook permission for me to see your name if you're one of my two private groups. If you're joining me live on YouTube, because we added that just a couple months ago, you've got to make sure you're logged into your account so that you can use the chat function and so on. So we've got, to get started here is Happy St. Patrick's Day, David. Thank you. I don't know who you are because you got to click on the link that my team's just throwing in there now, chat.restream.io/FB for Facebook, so I can see your name. So do me a favor, say that was me, type it out so I know I can, who said good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Listen to me, St. Patrick's Day. I've got a Facebook user today. We are going to kick some ass. Who are we? Do me a favor, click on that link that says restream.io/FB for Facebook, and so I can see your name, or at least type it in, say that was me. Good morning, Chris Schoenberger. Look, it's working for you today, dude. I got your email last night. I'll have a reply for you, or I'm going to give you a call. Again, for those of you who are in the groups, Mary's dropped into our members group, the chat.restream.io/FB. Jenny has yet to drop that into the other one. So Mary, you might want to jump in there and put that there. Good morning, Kim Newsom. You know, it still drives me nuts. How is it? Why is it Newsom, Kim? Why? Don't answer the question. It's rhetorical. We've got Mother's Cantina. I'm going to go. It is Neely. Hey, Neely. What's going on? I assume it's Ryan on Facebook and it's you on there. It is wonderful. Look at this shamrock, a 4-leaf clover. It's a good luck kind of day. I'm there. Francesco, what's going on, brother? Dude, you're fit as F. Like, I'm going to try not to use that word because I think YouTube doesn't allow you to do so. Holy shit, dude. I've been watching some of your stories and you are fit. You are one sumbitch fit. Hope you're doing great, brother, in Italy. I hope things are good. Jim Upchurch, what's up? I don't see the link you mentioned. That's why, because it has not been dropped in yet. It should be in there now. Jenny just dropped this. So she was just about 2 minutes behind me, a little head. So, but Jim, I can see your name. So as you can see here, you don't need to click on the link. You're good to go. Angie Brown, good morning from my treadmill. Nice. I like it. We're going to talk about why that's important today, as a matter of fact. I've got Kim says, it's backwards on Facebook. I can't figure out how to fix it. Me neither. I got a Facebook user. Fire. I'm going to guess that's Matt Plapp. Only because who else uses fire? You and your dad, right? Okay. Let's see here. I've got Sean. Hey, Shauna, what's going on? Let the shenanigans begin. I hope so. David Costa says, good morning. Good morning to you, my friend. We've got Hot Dog Eddies. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Hot Dog Eddies. Jim says he's got it. And then otherwise, we've got Mother's Tank. Tina says, I'm so happy Francesco has time to work out. Dude, he is crushing it. You have no idea. Become friends with him on Facebook. Dude is fit as F. Wally Arsenal, what's going on, brother? There's a blast from the blast. Got it. Good to see you. Look at that. It's Avery. Avery, just click on the link, but you've been hanging around Matt Plapp too long. You got the fire thing going, man. That is a Plapp thing. Ryan says, hi, it was Avery. Yeah, I got you guys. Well, as people say, good morning. Make sure I got everything said here. Let's get started. Welcome to Shoot the Shit with DSP. STS with DSP happens every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and YouTube, travel schedule permitting. We're going to invest about 30 minutes out of your day to get pumped about the coming weekend, get excited about crushing your goals and finding the motivation to be the best you possible. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions. I'm David Scott Peters, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula and your coach. Today, I'm doing a little oversharing. I mean, I'm going to open up a little too much with you all, but it's in hopes that it inspires you to make changes in your life before it's too late. Again, for those of you who are joining in, make sure you click on the link that says restream.io/FB if you're in one of my Facebook groups. Make sure you give Facebook permission for me to see your name. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you log into your account so that you can use the chat function. Here we go. So today is St. Patrick's Day. Everybody knows here I'm wearing my green. I don't always do that, but today I felt like I had to. I was going live. So here's my green because I don't have a stitch of Irish in me. However, this day has huge significance in my life. And I'm going to share with you why in just a moment. But before I do, I'm going to share with you the backstory. That backstory first, so in hopes that you might be able to relate and decide that today is the day to start making changes in your life, to still be a great leader in your restaurant, all while giving yourself permission to spend time outside your restaurant, to be present with your family and friends. So I'm going to take you way back. I'm going to take you back to the summer when I was 14 years old. To give you an idea of where all this drive comes from, when I was 14 years old, I was washing dishes at a small family-owned Italian restaurant down the street from my house. I was a first mate on an attorney's 32-foot cabin cruiser fishing boat all summer long. Oh, and I was also washing dishes and prep cooking for my mother at our restaurant. So to give you an idea, back at 14, I have been a worker. I have been somebody who's been taught, let's get this shit done. Watching my mother work as a restaurant owner, as a restaurant manager before that, like you put it in, you get the work done. So during that summer, while most of my friends were spending their time on the beach, I was working. Now, as a teenager, I had some real drive in me. For example, not only did I work, but I found my way to the sport of rowing. And so on the crew team, I was at the top of my game. To a point, I was determined I was going to get an athletic scholarship for rowing. I was going to go to college, and my top two choices, Temple University, gave me a half-ride scholarship. I was enrolled. And my number one choice, Northeastern University, a D1 school, gave me a full ride. So I went to Northeastern. I saw a goal. To a point, I was so cocky that my mother brought me to community college, not community college, our state college, and was called Stockton State College at the time. It's now Stockton University or whatever. But what was important is my mother, our guidance counselor, was a friend of our family, and an admissions officer. We're having a meeting, and I'm being this cocky little son of a bitch going, I'm not going here. I'm getting an athletic scholarship. Like I had no idea. But that's how driven I've always been. So when I was in college, here I am a D1 athlete. I had a full ride academically, but my parents had to pay for room and board. And quite honestly, my parents really didn't have the money. So I was determined to help my parents out and pay for my room and board by becoming a resident assistant. You know, the narc on the floor that made sure everybody followed the rules and so on. Well, I happened to be the youngest person that had gone through the interview process and scored the highest in this group interview process. And I was determined, and I got that. So now my room and board was paid for, my tuition was paid for, and believe it or not, later on, my senior year, I was the only undergraduate resident director assistant promoted to take an off-site, off-campus housing at another university that we were overflowing into. So I've always been driven. Then after college, I found myself doing franchise sales and compliance for a heating, plumbing, air conditioning company that was franchising across the country. And I thought I was in heaven. I was learning sales. I was doing compliance work, which was detail-oriented, documents, and doing all this stuff. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. But later I found myself getting laid off because they decided they didn't want to franchise anymore. So I took all this newfound skills. I'm going to start at like 23 years old. I'm going to start consulting business for franchising, sales, and compliance. And I actually had 2 clients. But to pay my bills, I started bartending again. Like I'm back in the restaurant business, which led me to managing, which led me to becoming the operations manager of a multi-unit brew pub and cafe here in Arizona called Coyote Springs Brewing Company, where I was working 80 plus hours a week because I was taught by watching my mother, the more hours you put in, the harder you worked, the more valuable were to the business. My next move with the same work ethic in mind was to a company called Famous Sam's, a 30-unit restaurant sports bar chain here in Arizona, as the director of operations. And it was for the group that just bought out the franchisor and wanted to take the company public. Their idea was, let's grow. I had stock options and the whole bit. And I was working so many hours that I would take one day off a week, but I would ask my wife of 1 year, what 2 days off in a row do you want me to take off this month? What 2 days in a row do you want me to take off this month? Like this is what you do. You work hard, right? Then came leaving there and teaching at Scottsdale Culinary Institute, management, human resources, wines and spirits, and on the side, consulting. So not only did I have this full-time job teaching, but I was also consulting, and on the side where most of them were Famous Sam's franchisees. This drive that I wanted to do more. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to, well, succeed. Now, I found myself back to Famous Sam's as one of the consulting clients was the minority shareholders became the majority shareholders because the guys, when I left the company, well, they damn near bankrupted the company. And I became the chief operating officer. I was told, turn the company around in 5 years and sell it. So I started a coaching business on the side. I was fortunate enough that they allowed me to run that company and start my own business on the side because I knew I was selling myself out of a job. I'd work all day in my office doing the corporate thing, driving around to 30-something locations and talking to franchisees and vendors and sales and compliance and doing all these things. My restaurant side and my franchise side all came together. And then I'd come home, and after dinner, I'd work my business until late in the evening. At the time, my wife and I think Tyler was just born. We had 2 desks in our bedroom. Lights are blaring on, and I'm working till wee hours of the morning, literally duplicating CDs and printing off labels and putting them in boxes and putting them in shipping labels because I had started my company and I was selling some products. And there I'd start this day after day after day. And after the sale of Famous Sam's, I was so motivated to work hard and create something that really had never been done before in the restaurant space when it came to the operational side of things, to create a place where independent restaurants could learn the same systems and tools that chains use without losing their independence. Love our guests, love our employees, but do what they do well, and that's make money. And so I was very, very driven. I would spend hours upon hours, not only coaching, marketing, speaking around the country, running my own seminars and workshops, creating new products, building the business to where I had members who became coaches, and one of those coaches became a partner. And as that happened, next came the development of software because my members said, David, we love your spreadsheets, but we're tired of putting the same number into 5 different spreadsheets. We're tired of managers by accident or on purpose manipulating the numbers. We don't know what we're looking at good numbers. And when it came to recipe cost cards, holy shit, they're so hard. We spend all this time, 60, 100 man hours to get them done. And in a spreadsheet the next day, as soon as a delivery shows up, they're out of date. And so I developed software from the ground up. Self-funded, which is called bootstrap in the software industry. So I had to work really hard to bring in all this revenue just to pay for creation of this software. And I'd start my coaching calls at 6 a.m. in the morning in my home office at the time. It didn't have our main office yet. So I wake up and I'd be on the phones, often right from in my sleep shorts and a t-shirt because nothing was Zoom yet. It was all on the phone. And I'd be on phone calls because 9 a.m. Eastern time was 6 a.m. my time. So I made myself available and I'd work at my desk and I'd be on the phones until 6 p.m. Often the kids would come home at 3 p.m. from school and they'd look and start laughing at me because I'm still in my sleep shorts and my t-shirt. I haven't taken a shower yet. Nobody could see me. It didn't matter. But I had to wake up and go right to it. Then I'd eat dinner and take about an hour off or so with my family. Watch TV, play a game, talk. And then I'd be back on the phones and the computers working with my programmers that were overseas until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'd do it over and over and over again. That's right. I'd have an average 2-3 hours of sleep in the beginning of developing that software. Nobody else, just me, but I was driven. And during this journey of entrepreneurship, there were times where I was experiencing what you experience from time to time. And it's referred to as entrepreneurial poverty, right? Entrepreneurial poverty. What does that mean? When you pay all your bills, you pay all the salaries, but you don't pay yourself. Because in your heart of hearts, you know that you're going to turn the corner any minute now, that eternal optimism that I can see the future. I just got to work a little bit harder. I can get there. I can get there. Heck, again, everyone in my company was getting paid, including my business partner. Everybody but me and my family. Ultimately, between traveling 2-3 times a month, giving speeches and presentations all over the country, in fact, the world, working late with my programmers, and 15 years of missing many of my children's birthdays and sporting events, it all caught up with me. In 2018, the day before St. Patrick's Day, last night, came home from work. I was going to next morning, 6 a.m. flight to Las Vegas for Pizza Expo, which is coming up in another week. I'll be there. I'm getting excited, getting all my stuff together. I left work a little early because I put everything together. Want to spend time with my family. We go out to dinner. I come home, sitting on the couch. Something doesn't feel right. A little bit of an irregular heartbeat. Now, full disclosure, I have a heart murmur, which every now and then gives me an arrhythmia, a skipping beat. But it was persistent, and it just felt a little different. No pain, no nothing. Oh, by the way, in the back of my head, my dad died of a heart attack. His dad died of a heart attack. My uncle died of a heart attack. I've been on blood pressure meds and cholesterol meds since my early 20s. I'm like, could be a heart attack. Nah, it's not a heart attack. I don't have the pain. I don't have the left arm thing. No, it's my heart. It's just the fluttery heart thing. Well, I go pack up my stuff, go to bed. I wake up about 1 o'clock in the morning, literally 1 a.m. Now I'm freaking out a little bit. This has not subsided. So I tap my wife on the shoulder and say, honey, Sue, we're going to the hospital. And she's freaked out because I don't let on that anything was going on up until that moment. So we go to the hospital, discover that I had a minor heart attack, which is a major life event. Get 2 stents put in. I'm out like the next day. Just amazing. Like 1 a.m. in the morning, by 1 p.m. the next day, I was out. And I can tell you, it's a life-changing experience. Now, it's difficult. It's difficult to deal with. It creates fear. It creates a little meds you're on and so on. You're not yourself. You're a little down. But I still got a business to run, to lead. Oh, by the way, at the same time I have this heart attack, I'm in the middle of my third and final time that I'm not going to take a paycheck. Again, at this point in time, I'm building animosity because it had been the longest period that I've gone through without paying myself. I had moved everybody to an office. We had grown to 14 people. We had software. We had consulting clients. We had 500 plus member restaurants in the software and coaching. I was doing seminars and workshops. Like, I had all these people dependent on me, including, again, my partner, who was not willing to share the pain because he had his own issues. So I did this. My wife and I did this for 12 months. It was getting to a point now. I've had a heart attack. I'm not feeling my greatest. And I've come up on 12 months where I didn't pay myself. And I finally looked at my partner and said, dude, I'm out of money. By that month, I got one more month. At the end of that month, I'm going to tell you right now, that consultant you brought in to get you off the road, which didn't, I'm letting him go. We're going to lay off this person, this person, this person, this person. We're going to drop consulting completely. We're going to focus on our members. What we truly were started for is coaching, a restaurant training and coaching company, and the software as a tool. Which led him to going, don't want to go that direction, and approached to buy me out. Now, I'm going to tell you, it was tough. I still thought I had another 20 years in the business, 10 at the short end, and I wanted to build it big and, see that, tech company buyout, $20-30 million. Well, we weren't anywhere there. So while I had to make a decision, in my brain, your partner only gets to ask you once. because that says they want to go another direction. So we determined, based on my health, based on what was going on in our life, I'm going to follow that, and I'm going to take the offer. And I'm going to tell you, it was tough. After feeling like I lost my company, not that I sold it because I didn't want to sell it, that I kind of lost it. I was feeling down, and I lost my identity. That I was the restaurantexpert.com. I was the guy. Like, it was me. And dare I say, I was basically depressed. I'd put on weight. I lacked my signature drive that nothing was going to stop me. And I was this arduous process of relaunching my coaching business from scratch during literally the pandemic. The day it started, the day after was when I was launching. So here's an industry in flames, and I go, hey, anybody need a restaurant coach? Now, I can tell you that the pandemic was a blessing in some respects for me personally. Because while I struggled to get the business going and, restarting in again, an industry that was in flames, I did rediscover the sport of rowing. I bought an oar board, which is a stand-up paddle board, put a stationary rowing thing on it, went out to a lake, and I would go 3 days a week to 6 days a week, and on my own. It's not like a rowing shell. It's like a mountain bike versus a racing bike. But I started to find that passion. And then I guest rowed at 3 different places, and then finally drove to Tempe, which is where I live, Peoria, 45 minutes away, and signed up to start rowing again in a master's club. And now I go 6 days a week, wake up most mornings, 3:45 in the morning, to be on the lake at 5 a.m. I've dropped weight. I've gotten healthy to a point where I've discovered competitive rowing again. I now limit the number of hours I make myself available to you. But in full disclosure, I still work most weekends, just a few hours, because sometimes I'm not quite as efficient during the day as I should be. I believe I am undiagnosed ADHD now that my daughter's been diagnosed. I made sure that the changes in my life, that I made my son's promotions in the Marine Corps. When he was became a sergeant, you bet your sweet ass I was there. I traveled to watch all but maybe 1 or 2 of my daughter's college volleyball games in Aurora, Illinois. We would fly in, watch the game, fly out, same frickin' day sometimes. And again, with rowing, I'm racking up medals. I'm telling you right now, I think I have 12 medals. I've only been rowing for a year and a half again, competing for a year and a half again. I'm seeing more success as a master's athlete than I did in college. I'm literally flying all over the country, rowing for my home rowing club and a Rolodex crew that I'm a part of. Plus, I'm looking forward to competing in England this summer at the Henley Masters Regatta, which is a bucket list thing for me. In college, I wanted to row in Henley. Why am I sharing this with you? Because I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want you to be able to make change today. So what are those lessons? 1, working long hours and working harder does not make you more valuable to your restaurant. It makes you less productive and less of a leader because you're working down instead of up. You have to get that notion out of your head. I needed to learn that lesson too because I saw it with my parents, primarily my mother, who could move the world, but was almost never home because she was always at the restaurant. Number 2, making time to focus on your health will keep you around longer to actually enjoy the fruits of your hard work. And this is coming from a guy, I was a D1 athlete, but I can tell you my weight would do this and do this and do this and do this. And did I always take care of myself? No. I ignored a lot of things because why? I got to work hard. I got to take care of my family. Well, as you learn, you have a heart attack. That could have been the day. Like, was all the hard work worth it? Was missing birthdays and things like that worth it? Number 3, make sure you surround yourself with good people and systems so that you can have freedom to leave your restaurant to ensure you can spend time with your family and friends and not miss out on those important events because you don't get a second chance. As my good friend Deja, who's probably on this call right now, one of my members, brought up in a group coaching call last year, you don't get a second chance. You miss a birthday, you miss an anniversary, you miss a recital, you miss a sporting event, it's gone. And I don't want that for you. 4, Make sure you have something else in your life that makes you happy other than a restaurant. You need a hobby, an outdoor activity, art, singing. You get the picture. Something that you love to do that is not just work. This will keep you in a solid mental state that if you lose one of the things, you don't lose your identity. Because when you lose that identity, you are going to feel down. Ultimately, you'll be a better leader, family member, and friend. You follow those things. In the long run, you are better. You are present in your life with your friends, your family, and your work. Understand this. I had to learn the hard way. Life can be taken from us at any time. So grab the brass ring, like reach for it, go for it. Go for those big lofty goals. But make sure you take the time to smell the roses. Otherwise, is it really worth it? That concludes my oversharing, aka shoot the shit with DSP portion. It is now time for your comments, for your questions. I'm here for you. Let me catch back up on where we are. We have a whole bunch of people that have joined since. And let's see here. I got Wally, then we go to... All right, this is where I left off. Jim says, I just hired a third manager. I'm headed to the beach again tomorrow to work more on the business instead of in it. Fantastic. Doesn't that align with today's message extremely well? Gina joined in. Hello, Gina. It was good to talk to you guys yesterday. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well. I've got a Yippee Skippy from I don't know who, because it doesn't say your name. Make sure you click on the link that says restream.io/FB if you're in Facebook, for Facebook to give me permission to see your name. Sean Bliss, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Glad to have you. It was good to see you yesterday as well. Or 2 days ago, I should say. Deja says, I have a connection problem today. Good morning, though. Well, I hope you heard that I threw out your name, and always nothing but love. Colette, hello, David. Here for my weekend pump up. Nobody does it like you. Well, thank you. I am flattered, and I'm happy to have you here. Hi, David. Luis here from Hong Kong. My question, if you were to put up a restaurant, where would you get the money to pay salary for your office and office staff, such as accountant, etc.? How will we show it on a P&L? Will it come from the restaurant? Sorry, I've got all the chats come over here, and when it gets too long, will it come from the restaurant income itself? Thanks. Yeah, actually, you're going to build a budget. So we're going to build a budget that basically says, here's what my sales are, my cost of goods sold, my labor, and here are all my expenses. And so I want you to think about this. Depending on the volumes of your restaurant, you may not have an internal bookkeeper. You're going to need an external accountant, at least here in the States, the way we would do it. Now, if you have multiple locations, then we're going to have a corporate office or operations people, which may include a bookkeeper. But it's going to be the expense from the restaurant. So it is going to be a part of your budget. Avery says, got a jump party of 30 walked in. Oh my goodness. Can't wait to rewatch. All right, brother. Afterwards, I hope you had a great party there. We got a wow. I don't know who this is. Who is wow? Who are you? Make sure you click on that link. Tell me who you are. Ryan James says, David, I'm taking over Ryan's question. How important do you think it is to update a menu, add new menu items, remove poor performing items? Is it important to update a menu and keep guests engaged? So I'm going to tell you that the answer is yes. What does that mean? If it were me, I'm looking at my menu mix on a monthly basis, assuming I'm using software like Margin Edge, the one that I recommend. I'm going to look at my menu mix, see where my ideal cost is, see how my prices, increased prices are fluctuating and creating my food costs, maybe making it go up or down. But on a quarterly basis, I want to take advantage of, this is chefy shit. Remember, everybody knows I don't cook. I'm not a chef. I don't belong in a kitchen. My knife skills are horrible. I can run expo, salads, fry station, sandwiches in a casual concept, but fine dining, fire hold, not me. With all that overshare, I want to take advantage of quarterly seasonal ingredients. Because the crazy part of our industry is the best ingredients that are in season are the cheapest. Right? Strawberries in the summer versus strawberries in the winter. right? So you want to be looking at least on a quarterly basis would be my monthly on food cost, quarterly for menu, and make those changes. Brad says, "Good morning, Brad. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Same to you, my friend. Look forward to working with you, by the way." Chris says, "No questions. Just want you to know you are loved." Thanks, brother. "I'm happy to know you and have you in my life. Thank you for deep STS today. Hugs." Thanks, man. I will take those hugs. And it's interesting. It's Avery pushed me to do it last night on my Facebook post that that's tomorrow's STS. Lindsay says, "Hey, David, my mom and I may come see you in Vegas." All right. Now, is that Vegas my seminar or Vegas Pizza Expo or Bar and Restaurant Expo? So I know what we're talking about. Let me know. Facebook user, "Just can't seem to hire a GM. Went through 3 of them in 18 months. Don't know who you are because it says Facebook user. A part of that may be you don't have the systems in place and they're kind of learning by you telling them what they're doing wrong every day. So the right systems in place, great training and support, we can get somebody there. But I'll also tell you, if we bring in them from outside, they often don't work. I try and promote from within, always." Facebook user, "Good morning. Love the message this morning. Thank you. Don't know who you are." It says Facebook user. So make sure you click on the link that says restream.io/FB to give me permission to see your name, Facebook, to do so. Jim says, "Baseball is my passion. I play in the MSBL 50 plus baseball division, played in the MSBL World Series in Scottsdale 2 years ago. That's my escape from reality, along with the beach." I think that's awesome, man. That just absolutely awesome. Again, sports isn't everybody's thing. Rowing was my thing, baseball yours, but it is so just turns everything off in your head. I can tell you in the old days when I used to golf 20 years ago, getting on a golf course, I shut everything down. Tracy, what's going on? Awesome to see you supporting restaurant owners on this platform. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Facebook users. Oh, it's Luis. What's going on? Hong Kong. Thank you for sharing your story, Dave. More power to you and your team. Thank you very much. Facebook user. "Looking forward to chatting later today. Thanks for all your help. This was crazy story." Let's see. If later today, I'm going to guess that I'm talking to you 7 o'clock your time. I think I know who you are. All right. Facebook user, "Love your opening, encouraging words today. Just got back from West Yellowstone snowmobiling, and the restaurants are not only still standing, they are thriving without me. Question: what are your thoughts on commission-based pay models for servers, bartenders?" Let me see here. Servers and bartenders. That's it. Actually, it's just missing the question marks. Why? Like I don't have an opinion. It's a new concept that you're bringing up to me, and I'd have to think about it a little bit. But why? We're in a position where in most states the minimum wage is really, really high. We've got many states that are no longer tip credit, meaning you can't pay less than minimum wage, like a California where we've got servers making $10.50 an hour plus tips. We're now to a point where I've changed my view on tip pooling/sharing, where I was against it as a Gen Xer growing up in the business. Like, I want my own money unless I was behind the bar, to where today it makes more sense to pool and share even with the kitchen, which the law changed 8-10 years ago on that. They're making good money. Like, my bartenders and servers are already commission based, if you will, because if they upsell, they get a higher tip. So I'm not sure I know where you're going with it, and I don't know that I'm giving the answer you want to hear. But I guess I'm not into it because I think they're already commission based, I guess, is the long way to look at it. Hopefully that helps. I've got Lindsay says, Bar and Restaurant Expo. No shit. Okay. Well, make sure you get my cell phone number. I definitely want to see you guys there. There sounds like there'll be a contingent of members there. I'm sure we will get together and exercise some liver. Facebook user, commission-based pay allows operator to pay commission team $1 an hour. Man, I I guess I'm not feeling it. It's kind of, we're trying to become employers of choice. And I think the majority of people out there would not see that as an opportunity to become a salesperson, even though they are salespeople. And they look at it as you trying to screw them out of their wages. That's what I think would happen. So I don't get warm and fuzzies about it. Doesn't mean it couldn't work and doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I wouldn't do it. And that's all it is. It's my opinion, one man's opinion. Hey, DSP, can I get on an evaluation call? Okay, so Ryan, actually, Jenny, can you drop Ryan's link in that chat? Or so what's going to happen is we're going to drop a link into Ryan's calendar, Ryan James. He's one of my member mentors. He and his wife, Neely, have been successful through the program and knocking out of the park, helping other members come through the program do well. What you're going to do is get you a link to his calendar. And Ryan says he's going to reply on, you can shoot him a text right there. I just put this on the internet, dude. That's your number. So I'm going to bring this down real quick. But you're going to spend 15 minutes with Ryan first so we can learn more about you and your business, tell you what we do, and you guys can figure out if it's a fit. Then if you're a fit, he's going to put you on my calendar. I don't want to waste your time. And I, quite frankly, only have so many hours in a day, but I'd love to talk to you. But Ryan's the first person. That goes for anybody on this call. So Jenny just put this link in the chat. If you, and those of you who are on Facebook, if you want to type this out, it's DSP, not Facebook, YouTube, dsp.coach/book-call-Ryan. If you put that in a URL, you can get on a call with Ryan, spend 15 minutes to learn more about you and for us to tell you a little bit about the program, see if it's possibly a good fit. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not a good fit for everybody. I just like to think so. But if you want to follow what I just talked about today, you want to have a life outside your business, because what I teach is restaurant prosperity, all right? Based on my book, shameless plug, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, What Successful Restaurateurs Do. Find it on Amazon or any popular podcasting booksellers. I'm tripping over my words today. I'm 5 years old today, right? I teach restaurant prosperity, which is freedom from your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve. See, if we don't get you freedom from your restaurant, who cares? Maybe that was already a lesson I was learning because that book got completed after my heart attack. Maybe subconsciously I already knew. But it was my members who taught me that if we don't get you freedom, who cares? Really ties in well with today's message. So I'd love to have you get on that calendar. Oh, look at this. One of my team logged in as me on YouTube. There's the link. That must have been Jenny. Thanks, Jenny. So those of you if you're looking at it and want to click on that, you can do so on YouTube. Sal says, how important is it to have dartboards and other arcade games in a sports bar? Well, I don't know that it's that important, except for I'm going to tell you, I ran a 30-unit restaurant sports bar chain as a chief operating officer. And part of our thing at Famous Sam's is we had a motto or a phrase, a tagline, if you will. There's always something happening at Famous Sam's. Now, it wasn't me who did that. That was a part of the company back in the 1960s as it started. We had pool tables, dartboards. We had Golden Tee. We had other video games and bar top games. So what you've got to determine is, what kind of sports bar are you? Are you a neighborhood sports bar where you're trying to get people to come in and stay and literally become a gathering point? Or are you a Buffalo Wild Wings that you are there for some sporting events, you got lots of TVs, but you're really a restaurant bar that people flow in and flow out of? So there's no wrong answer. It's a core value, and it's who's your demographic? Where are you? Hopefully that helps. That's all. I've got one more thing here. Just sent text to Ryan. Thanks. You're welcome. Well, we've run a little long today. Does anybody else? I'll give one more shout out. If you've got a question, I'll answer it. Otherwise, I'll end us here on this note. I know there's a little bit of a delay. So from me speaking to it getting to Facebook, to getting to YouTube, because we're broadcasting on 3 different channels right now. So I'm buying a little time. Let's see here. We've got 2 more things, 2 more people, and then I'm out. Sean says, only a few weeks into the program, and I'm amazed with the positive results that are starting both personal and business. Thank you, Sean. I greatly appreciate that very, very much. Sal says, I'm at a golf course. I would say that if I were at a golf course, I'd probably get Golden Tee. I would absolutely get the bar top games and make sure that you are restrict them, that they can't go into the R-rated games until after a certain period of time or never. Um, but darts maybe. I mean, that doesn't hurt. Is it really important? Not so important, because if you're truly just a golf course, you're the after the clubhouse, then people are tired anyway. If you're also a neighborhood restaurant bar, then having that activity might not hurt, but now you want to have leagues and you want to use them to draw people in. Note, a lot of dart players, which I used to be one, a lot of them drink water. All right, Chicago Taco. Jose, right? Jose. Hi, David. Good morning. Have you ever read the book Profit First? Do you see many restaurants practice this? In fact, I have not read the book, but one of my member mentors, Steve Eller, has not only read the book, but he has rebuilt a complete budget based around it and preaches it and uses it on a daily basis. So yes, I've seen it in practice to a point where it literally he puts it into sales and he says, here's what I'm going to keep. Here's what I have for operations. Here's what I have for cost of goods sold and prime costs, if you will, and literally works his budget towards ensuring that money goes to him first. So yeah, I have read it and it can be done. So hopefully that answers your question. Hey man, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so thankful. The group getting bigger and bigger every Friday. If you've got other friends and family, do me a favor who are in the restaurant business, invite them to join us. The more people I talk to, the happier I am, because I'm trying to help. Again, this is something I do for free. Now, don't get me wrong. I hope that I see you in Las Vegas, May 17th and 18th at my 2-day seminar. I hope that you'll get on a call with Ryan and look at membership, and hopefully we can help you change your life, get you freedom of your business and the financial freedom you deserve, the support you need, the accountability. I hope you go buy my book, exposure. So while I do this out of the love of my heart, do not get me wrong. I am no different than you. I have to pay my bills too. So I hope that some of you support me in some way, book, seminar, or even look into coaching. But no matter what, I'm here for you. I'll be here. And let me just double check. I believe next Friday. Let's see here. Yes, I will be in town. There will be a Shoot the Shit next week. Just know that I appreciate you all. I hope that you have an awesome weekend and that my story, my overshare, hit home with you. Because I'll tell you, it hits home with me. Go out there, kick some ass, everybody.